We want to thank you for being here. We recognize the commitment that you're taking to pursue excellence. You're just one step closer to achieving success. And the Institute is here to help at every step, wherever you are in your business journey. We've helped thousands of shops over decades and across the nation, from service advisor and manager training to a shop that's just starting out, or even those who are planning their growth, scaling from 10 to 20 to 30 locations. Those that are preparing for private equity sale, or even those that are succeeding their business to the next generation. The Institute and our many coaches with years of experience, both from inside and outside the industry, are here to provide education and tools to get you on your way. You do not have to do this alone. We hope you enjoy the content to come. For a better business, a better life, and a better industry, the Institute.
Hello, my friends. It's good to see you. It's good to be part of our conversation today, as we are going to have a great conversation talking about profit in your shop and technology in your shop. Oh my gosh, this is going to be so much fun. We are here to help you where you are at. Where are you at? We just finished a fabulous marketing for the automotive repair shops conference. No, it wasn't a conference. It was an intensive. It was a workshop. It was awesome. It was a workshop where those that were there had notebooks, 111 pages of notes, note-taking, homework assignments. It was so cool. It was so cool. And what's great with what we're doing with the Institute, building better business, building better lives, building better industry, is that we lock arms with you. We're going to meet you where you are and go together as we go together to further your shop, your business. From those that are looking and evaluating shops to buy, they don't even own a shop yet. Jonathan, I'm talking about you. They don't own a shop yet, but they're going to. And because they're going to, why not have a coach in your corner to help you navigate all of the red tape? Oh man, it's so fabulous. All the way up to multi-shop operators. You have 10 locations, 18 locations, 36 locations. We here at the Institute are here to lock arms with you and make sure that your shop experience is the best it can possibly be. This is to be an interactive experience. So you've got questions, we've got some answers. We've got some really fabulous shop owner on with us today, as well as a vendor on with us today. And to make sure that this is interactive, go ahead and put into the chat, whether you're watching this on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on StreamYard, either way, go into the comment section and comment with your shop, your information. Those of us here for the live event, give you a shout out for joining us for the live event. We really do appreciate it. And Andrew says, well, that is a new background. Andrew joining us from Long Island, Coventry Auto, Andrew Knudsen. And Andrew, you are correct. I am at my home office today. The router is right here, because if I'm in my office, it doesn't quite reach it. So I'm plugged in today, and this is the home office. I'm tapping into my Mike Allen vibe here with the throne. So Andrew, yeah, you're definitely noticing the new background. And Lance, good to see you again, brother. How are you? Good, glad you're here. John Schreiner, John at Cochrane again. Oh, nice, John. Good to have you back, brother. Glad to see you. Roy from Roy Rump and Sons, Ottawa, Canada. Hey, look at that. We're international now as well. Tyler, we're glad to have you here, brother. Jerry from Business Blue Star Auto, Holland, Michigan. Nice, Jerry. Glad you're here, brother. Thank you. Stephen at BNC Auto Center, San Jose, California. Daniel Rathstrom from Branch Automotive, Denver, Colorado. Dan, what's happening, brother? Oh my gosh, I'm glad you're here. Dan, for those of you who don't know, Dan and Branch Automotive, they are in a very exclusive club, a club of one. And I do want to talk about this. So let's give some more shout outs here, Dan, and then I'm going to come right back to you. Yvette at Krause's European Car Care, Louisville, Texas. Yvette, so glad to see you. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. Thank you. Spectre Auto Services, Frederick, Maryland with Randy. Randy, welcome. Tracy from Mix Auto in Santa Cruz, California. Oh my gosh, you guys, there's so many people here. Bernard from Best Auto in Ghana. Holy smokes, Bernard, what time is it? That's got to be like close to 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night. Bernard, I'm glad you're here, brother. Thank you. Jonathan, Auto Shop to be named later. Nice. Glad you are here, Jonathan, and I hope you are feeling well. Mobile service. Hey, Hussein with a mobile service. Bernard says it's 5 p.m. in Ghana. I had a roommate from Ghana, George Kissy. You may know his father. His father was the presidential medical officer. Long time ago, like 30 years ago. So Bernard, maybe you're not as old as some of us, or maybe you're older than some of us. I don't know. Maybe you know him. Rory from Luke's Auto. Rory, what's happening? Thank you. Thank you, Evan. I got the sweater. I got the hat. I'm so excited. Yes, we've got Christmas presents in the works. My son's name is Luke. So Luke's Auto, we got the whole swag bag going. Okay, back to Dan, back to this story. So I was meeting with Vern. No, his name's not Vern. He was mistakenly called Vern. His name is Burl. And Burl was rolling out a sales program for realtors. And he says, these realtors, they go out and they sell and they sell and they sell and they sell. And they have these awards. And they're giving out awards for realtors that are selling at a 1 million level, at a 5 million level, at a 10 million level. And really, it doesn't take too much these days to get into the 1 million level or the 5 million level. You only have to sell one house and you might be there. Or maybe you sell 2 or 3 houses and you're in the 5 million. Well, here at the Institute, we have exclusive clubs. And that is the Net Profit Club. So we have a 100K Net Profit Club, a 200K Net Profit Club, 300K, 500K, 700K. And Dan and Parker at Branch Automotive broke all records. They are the lone wolves at the moment. By the way, Dan, there's a lot of people chomping at the bit, want to be part of this 1 million Net Profit Club. So your shop is in the crosshairs and there are people scrambling to join you in the 1 million net profit. Congratulations, Dan and Parker. You guys are awesome. You're an inspiration for many. So that is very, very, very cool. It was an honor to recognize you at our last summit meeting. And I mentioned summit meeting because we are in the process of getting ready for Summit 27. Summit 27. We'll get that on the books, get a date out there so you guys can save the date, and we'll all come together, have a phenomenal time together, and really look forward to our business, our industry, and what can we do to make it better. So it's coming. It's coming soon. The next summit will be huge. Thank you, Andrew. Andrew was at Summit, as was Dan, as was Parker, as was a few of you here on this call. So thank you. Thank you very much. Glad that you are here. For our webinar today, for our discussion today, we are talking about technology that has helped to improve your shop, your business, your effective labor rate, your proficiencies. And co-sponsoring this with us is Shop-Ware. Monique is going to join us from Shop-Ware. Thank you, Monique. I'm so excited to have you with us. I see your blurred background. It looks like you are being a road warrior today.
Yes, I'll be a road warrior for several months, but it'll be okay. So please don't mind the hotel background, but I am very excited to be here. So thank you for having me, and I'm looking forward to talking with y'all.
Yes, Monique. Monique has been with Shop-Ware for quite a while, and just excited with what is happening there, the conferences, the surveys, the listening to the shops, and the shops love Shop-Ware. The shops that are on Shop-Ware love Shop-Ware. So thank you for all you're doing in this industry.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Joining from a shop point of view, we have Brandon. He is our MMA fighter. He is our local jiu-jitsu black belt. No, you do not want to mess with this guy. Brandon, how are you, brother?
I'm doing great. How are you, Jimmy?
I'm good. I'm real good. Excited that you're here so we can talk about technology and the shop and the business. How is the shop, by the way?
Shop's been doing great. We had a record month in July. August was pretty good. And then, hoping to just keep the ball rolling.
There you go. Yeah, keep the ball rolling for sure. So back up. By the way, how's Pops?
Oh, he's great.
Yeah, is he in the shop every day still?
Because he wants to be there. Loves being there, loves being part of the team, helping with the problem cars.
Oh, I love it. Oh, so he's wrenching, eh?
Yeah, when he wants to. And then, he only touches if we have, the BMW with the intermittent check engine light that only comes on Tuesday. He calls dibs, and that's the one he works on because he loves figuring out the crazy hard problems.
I love it. That's so cool. I saw one yesterday on TikTok that if you pull up the parking brake, if you open the ashtray, if you open the cup holder and then open the glove box, it actuated the steering wheel spin mode, and it would just spin and spin and spin and spin.
What are you watching?
I'm watching TikTok about customer states that if you put on the parking brake, open the ashtray, open the cup holder, and open the jockey box, the steering wheel will start to spin. And sure enough, it did. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing what happens when customers come in and when a service advisor is in there and writing down what a customer says. It blows the minds of technicians because of their descriptions, which are hilarious, but it goes into what they're doing. So Brandon, I want to dig in deep here. I want to go in on your shop, but first give us a layout so everybody understands what your shop looks like. How can I relate to that? If I'm a single guy, I've got 2 techs, or I've got 10 bays, or I've got 10 shops. What's your makeup so that as we have our conversation, people can relate?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're a 6-bay, 1.5 advisors, because I'm still kind of advising, but not as much, with 3 techs, looking to hopefully grow to 4 and then 2 full-time advisors before the end of the year.
Nice. Congratulations. And about what kind of a car count are you usually looking at on a daily or a weekly or a monthly basis? What do you usually see?
Monthly, we do about 120 cars with a 20-car variance either direction, depending on the month.
Okay. And are you focused mostly on the Euros, on the general repair, all makes, all models, Asians, diesels? What are you looking at?
General repair is the worst way to describe our shop because we do fix everything. But when I say we fix everything, I have a video on my phone from earlier this week where we have, a Porsche 911 Turbo next to a brand new F-250, next to a 2008 Ford Focus, next to another Porsche 911, next to a Maserati, next to a 2002 Ford F-250, so we work on everything pretty much newer than 2000, but that day we even had a 91 Toyota MR2 in the shop for an engine. So we work on everything. We have the tooling, we have the equipment, we do the training. So if it's, we love to work on all of it.
Wow. It sounds like you've got from the whole mix and the whole marriage of everything. Yeah. All makes, all models.
Sounds like he just doesn't like to turn away money. I like that.
Yeah, the only stuff we turn away is when stuff gets older than 2000, unless it's a specific vehicle or customer that we know, cares about fixing it. Like that MR2 is one we knew that customer, a good customer, and it was a good ticket, easy to find parts. But some of the older stuff we steer away from just because we don't have the parking for a car to sit there for a couple of weeks while we wait for parts. Yeah.
And with those bigger tickets, are you focusing on clients, on customers and saying, all right, this is going to be a $30,000 repair. I'm going to need $15K to get things started.
Yeah. So not too much of our stuff gets up into that range. We have them, but those are the outliers. Our ARO is right around $1,100 right now. We want to be the auto repair shop for the whole family. Everything from the kid's high school car to the mom's minivan to dad's truck and his, sports car that's in the garage. We want to be able to just take care of everybody.
Well, and I'm thinking of that MR2 with an engine. I'm like, what's that invoice going to be?
That was just shy of 12,000.
Oh. So with the 12, are you collecting 50% up front or 30% or what do you usually do?
So we collect a 50% down payment on anything over $3,000, just so, the shop doesn't have to absorb the cost of everything until the job's done.
Yeah, that helps tremendously, being able to have that funds in-house so you can take care of business. Okay. So 6 bays, currently 3 techs, you want 4, currently 1.5 service advisors, you want 2. By the end of the year, you'll have this in place, and then you can focus on the business, and dad can tinker with those cars that have spinning wheels.
Yeah. That's the plan. For the longest time, it was, I watched my dad, work crazy hours, 7 days a week. And I was like, I'm just going to push and grow the business to the point to where, he can hang out on a beach somewhere all week and not have to work. And then we got to the point where we can almost do that, and he's still there every day. And it took me a little bit to realize he does not want to sit on a beach or anything. He wants to figure out the problem cars, and that's exactly what he loves to do. So
that's his hobby. That's his joy. That's his enjoyment. He enjoys working on the car, so he's not losing out when it comes to that's it. That's his downtime, is working on cars.
Nope, it's just my job to make sure it goes from him having to do it to him wanting to do it.
There you go. It's great to have that.
I have a question for you, Brandon. So yes. I'm very curious to know, you said you're basically an advisor half-time, right?
Yep.
Part-time. Does that mean you're now doing the owner job full-time, but outside of hours? So that way you can advise during the day, or how does that split work?
Yeah, it's a lot. So all the owner duties I do after hours, like I'll get up and usually do like the payroll and anything like that before work starts or anything online, be up 5:30, 6 starting to do that. And then I do all the advisor stuff during the day. And when I have the downtime, because I'm only a third or half advisor, the advisor we hired, he's a rock star. But so the little bit of advising I do that. And then I have almost like the service manager position, making sure, productivity's there, margins are held, everything throughout the day. And then I go back to, just tackling everything else owners wise, as far as like filling out composite and P&L, like checking the P&L, and I do that after. So hopefully we can get another advisor in, and then I don't have to do the day-to-day stuff.
So you could work less hours.
Yeah.
I'm curious to know.
Yep.
In the comments from everyone, how many of you are working over 8 hours a day to maybe split yourself and be 2 different roles? Go ahead, Jimmy.
Oh, I am.
Oh, you are. Yes.
Oh, yeah. But for our audience, who's working over 8 hours? I'll bet every single person out there. How many hours per day are you working? Put it in the comments.
That's a better question. Yes, I would love to know.
How many hours per day are you working?
And it's not even that I really want to work less than, I want to work less. It's I could take, the time that I'm advising and put it towards other things in the business to, make it grow faster. Yeah. If you're working less than 8 hours a day, what are you doing all day?
Yeah.
I had a part-time job once. That's what everybody's thinking about the 8-hour day.
The 8-hour day. Yeah. No, well, shop owners for sure. Tracy says 4. Lance says, yes, he's working more than 8. James is 5. Daniel, 11. Lance, 10 to 12, 6 days a week, sometimes maybe 7 for Lance. Oh my gosh, dude. Steven is 9 hours plus a tech, called in 6. So he's literally working on cars while listening to this. Steven, thank you for listening. We appreciate that. Jonathan, what's stopping you from adding an advisor now, Brandon? I think Brandon's just got to find the right person. Brandon, what's stopping you?
Both. We're super picky on who we hire, but also we're in like that busy time of year. So the shop's killing it. It could definitely get an advisor now. I just want to settle through, the September months where typically we see that little bit of slowdown, and make sure that drops not as substantial to where we can't have that second advisor. Because last thing I'd want to do is get a rock star, put them in place, and then, I'm struggling to try and amp up the marketing to keep up with the added payroll.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. Well, and Cody Morlock working 8 hours ish, making big moves right now, but they're also a 4 10s. They're working 4 10s. So yeah, no, Cody, that totally makes sense. And just so you guys know, Cody and his wife, Tasha, are going to have a baby boy any minute.
Congrats.
Literally, quite literally, we were at the Mars conference or the Mars intensive over the weekend, where anytime the dude would stand up to walk away from the camera, I was like, oh, we're baby watch. So congratulations to you, Cody. And he already sent a message to us this morning that the baby's not here yet, but they're up. Still no baby, but thing is stuck. Oh gosh, go for another horse ride. Put her on horseback. He had her on horseback going around the property. Still no baby. Stubborn. This is a stubborn one. You have 3 girls and 3 boys after this. So congratulations, Cody. Brandon, thanks for giving us the background of your shop and where you are and where you want to go as well. Let's talk about technology that you have seen implemented into your shop. What have you seen from a technology viewpoint that has made some difference? And then let's go into the technology that has really moved the needle for you. So what's some of those that have made a difference, and then the bigger?
I mean, the biggest thing, and I'm not saying it because we're on their show, is just Shop-Ware overall as a management system. It's just the ease of workflow. Yeah. The ease of workflow, how fast things can transition through the shop, how easy the communication and everything is. Being able to just track and hold margins and see where you're losing productivity or efficiency based on how the tech is punching on and off jobs. So that's probably the biggest help in our shop. Other things we use, having a solid CRM. Our CRM really dialed in to keep our customers coming back and, keep grabbing the work that customers are, declining that initial visit to make sure they're coming back and still getting it done. Another thing is we work with Detect AI. They're a new AI that comes out that pairs seamlessly with Shop-Ware. And what it is so you can put your maintenance standards in it, and then it'll also go off the manufacturer's maintenance standards, and then it'll check Carfax to see if it's ever been done. And then if it has no history of it with you, no history of it with Carfax, it'll mark it yellow. If it has history of it being done, but it's due to be done again, it marks it red, and then it just saves the advisors, I would guess, probably 4 to 5 minutes per estimate to seeing what's needed as far as maintenance to write up and let the customer know what's needed. So that's been huge. That's new. We've only been with them for maybe a month.
Oh, wow. And have you seen car owners that are viewing this information from Detect Auto and they're like, oh my gosh, yes, no, we definitely need to do all this stuff. Have you seen the average repair orders going above that 1,100?
So our AROs stuck about the same, but we were always presenting it. What it is just freeing up more time for the advisor. Like I was doing probably 50% of the advising before, and then Detect AI was able to free up the time for the other advisors. So now they get to do the majority of it. And having, one advisor with 3 techs is okay. And then 2 with, I'd want to add a 4th tech before I add the second advisor, to go back to, part of the reason Jonathan asked why I don't just do it now.
Yeah.
But
no,
so get in the right direction.
So before, you as an advisor, you were going in and doing all the digging to find the information from what manufacturer said, what is done, recommended in the past, declined, and what the car needs today. You were doing that process. So now Detect AI, click of a button, boom.
Yep.
Saved you just 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 30 minutes, who knows, per car, per estimate. That's pretty cool. And
it adds up. If you're writing, 6, 7 estimates a day or whatever, going back and forth, or a customer calls with another concern, it adds up.
For sure.
So just to clarify, you were writing several services on a repair order before, and now because you can see the information with Detect Auto, instead of writing 6 services or 6 estimates, maybe you're only writing 4. Is that correct?
Nope, we're still writing all the same estimates. It saves us the time from having to go look for what's due. Before we have to go into Shop-Ware history, see what we've done, check Carfax, see what's due, see what's been done, call the customer just in case. And we still do that because it can't pull stuff that hasn't been reported. But now it pulls up a PDF with everything, copy, paste it. We put it in our DVI, and then we can just add all the canned jobs right from there.
Thank you for that clarity.
Oh, that's good. That's really good. Okay, so these are the things that are freeing up time, freeing up on the daily. What else? What else besides the CRM, Detect Auto, Shop-Ware? Thank you, Shop-Ware. I have a question for you, Monique and Brandon. Hold.
Yes, sir.
When you are signing up clients to Shop-Ware, what do you know? Is there a percentage of them that are coming from handwritten to technology?
Yeah, I mean, it's very rare that you move someone over from handwriting anymore. And if they are handwriting, that's probably where they're going to stay until they move the shop over to a new owner, right? So most people are coming from some other shop management system. And I would
Okay.
say that's probably 95% of the people we move over are coming from a shop management system.
Yeah. I want to throw it out there that if you are still handwriting your estimates, your invoices, your work orders, there's no shame. And check out Shop-Ware because it's going to help you out tremendously to improve the efficiencies of you as a shop, owner, an advisor, to not have to write. And I've seen some shops, Monique, this will blow your mind. They're doing 2 million, 3 million, 4 million out of a single shop. And the service advisors are handwriting all of those tickets.
Yeah, I would say the majority of what we see when it's someone who hasn't moved to like a newer shop management system, it's usually they're on QuickBooks. So they're writing invoices, they're keeping the history, but it's all in a non-automotive tool, which is great. It's helpful because you're going to use QuickBooks to pay your bills and do all the things anyway. However, it doesn't give you the additional functionality like hooking up to your parts vendors or looking at automotive specific reporting or KPIs. There's a ton of items that you can then check off once you move to an automotive specific software. So, that's something that folks will want to consider if they're not on an automotive specific software, for sure.
Nice. And Jonathan's got a question, or John has a question for you, Monique. Question in general, is Shop-Ware making it so technicians are on a tablet or something like that, getting all their information, or will you flag sheets and information and technicians are still providing it separately?
Yeah, so this is a great question. All shops do things a bit different. So some like to print the piece of paper still, and some folks like to get their technicians on something mobile like a tablet so they can go through and do check off right from the tablet. However, we do both, so we can accommodate both. Where you gain and where you benefit is when you actually get them on the tablet, because you can't track anything that happens on a piece of paper. Meanwhile, when they're on the tablet, we can track everything, how long it takes them to do things, when they're marking it complete. They can take pictures, videos, all of the different items that you can't do with that piece of paper. So it is beneficial to get them on a tablet or a phone, anything mobile. But yes, we can, and we can do all of the reporting on the backside of that.
Oh, I love it. John, I hope that helps you. Brandon, what do you guys do in your shop with your technicians? What do you have them on? So
we supply tablets. They're in the corner of the shop collecting a boatload of dust because all the technicians would rather just use their own cell phone. We have something we supply, but it's small, fits in their pocket, does their job, and they'd much rather just carry that around. And then they have a Chromebook at their toolbox to, follow the work order and write their stories and stuff. But yeah, for the DVI, they use their own cell phones.
Oh, nice. Very nice. Yeah. Quick, simple, easy. It's got a flashlight. It's got a camera. Yeah. I get it.
It reaches in the hard to reach spots better than a tablet would, because a tablet's bigger. The cell phone camera is better. So there's a million reasons why they'd want to use their cell phone.
And I will say, as like personal preference for the tech app and everything with Shop-Ware, using a cell phone is easier. The tech app was more designed to be used on a phone. It's designed to be able to use one hand versus if you have a tablet. I don't know anyone whose thumb is this long to be able to reach side to side of the screen on a tablet, but on the phone, you could do a whole DVI with one hand with the way the tech app's designed.
Oh, wow. Monique, there's some good feedback. How about that?
Yeah, we took a lot of time designing it, pushing it out, listening to feedback after, and making changes to make it better and improve it. So thank you,
Absolutely.
Brandon.
Well, speaking of DVI is one of my favorites, but let's talk about technology, Brandon. As you continue to introduce technology into your shop, what are some of those technologies that you look at and can say every shop must have this technology?
A digital inspection. That should be the standard now. I mean, it works great for, all of us shops that are doing it and other shops aren't, but it shouldn't be something a elite level shop is doing. It should be the standard. It builds trust. It shows the customer exactly what's wrong. I think it should be the new industry norm. Most places, if you go and have any sort of testing done, you go to the doctor or anything, they're going to give you a paper or something with the results, or you go get an x-ray, they show you the x-ray, they don't just tell you your leg's broken. That's the same thing with us. Let's show the customer what's wrong with the car. Let's inform them so they understand how the car works and why everything's needed, instead of just the old way, you come in, just tell people what's wrong and how much. Like, help build the value of the DVI.
I agree. The DVI is so important. It can show a customer. It helps to educate the customer. When they're educated, they make much better decisions. They can see what's worn, torn, frayed, or broken, especially when you circle it or put arrows at it. Because if you're saying, hey, look at this ball joint, they have no clue what a ball joint is. You circle it, put an arrow at it. See that? Broken. Oh, okay.
And I know most shops are doing it now, but if you're not, yeah, you got to get on board, or you might get left behind. It was a game changer. We knew our first week we had she was a little sweet old lady, came in for first time, week of us using a DVI, and we did our health report, and she didn't have a smartphone or anything, and so we sent it to her. She couldn't see it, and she needed tires, and we told her she needed tires, and started flipping out on me. I don't need tires. I just got a state inspection last week. Like, the cords were sticking out of the inside of the tires, but the alignment was off, so the outside of the tire looked fine. Her daughter's a customer at the shop, so I said, can I text this report to your daughter so she can see what we're talking about? Because I promise you need tires. And then she called back so apologetically, like, I am so sorry. How did I get a state inspection? How could someone let this happen? And it builds value.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, those pictures, it sells it every time. The video sells it every time. Anytime a technician has a marking it red that it needs attention, include a picture, it's sold. Every time.
Yes. I look at this from a different perspective because I don't actually work in a shop. I've never worked in a shop. I've worked with shops for a lot of years, but I don't work in a shop. So I am the car owner who takes my vehicle to a shop. And I agree with you, Brandon, that an inspection should absolutely be done on every vehicle, because you are car doctors. And to your point, when you go to the doctor, they give you all of the information. And so I think the inspection, in my perspective, is more of a list for the technician, which is great because you need to train them in what they should be doing and how they should be doing it. But what is very important for me is exactly what you both pointed out, which is the detail that makes me an informed buyer. So if I were the old lady as well, and on the outside, it looks great, and I'm obviously not trained to look on the inside of the tire, then yes, those pictures, the information helps me to make me feel confident that you, Brandon, or your shop, or whomever I'm taking my vehicle to, is not taking advantage of me. And that's really what we all ultimately want to know, is that someone's not taking advantage of us. So if you can show the information that helps me to build the trust, but also understand that you are looking out for my best interest, then I may not need those pictures later on, or I may be able to approve without, a reaction that would be unfavorable for everyone involved in the situation. So I think that it's just really about showing the information that helps me to understand, yes, I do need that, right? I do need that he's suggesting. And so I should click the approve button and I should say yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Brandon, think about your DVI history, your DVI experience, that you've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and thousands of digital vehicle inspections that your shop has done. What is one that you would say, this is a story of victory for the DVI? This is a victory for taking pictures and showing a customer exactly what needs to be done. Similar to the state inspection where the tires are bald. That's unfortunate, but it does happen. Educated customers make better decisions. You have any stories of a DVI that went extremely well?
Ooh, I mean, I got a bunch of them, but one of my favorite ones is it helps. We've always followed the 300% rule. Every car comes in the shop, it gets 100% inspected, everything gets estimated, and everything gets presented to the customer. Well, when it's a first-time customer, especially coming to our shop, usually that first visit, there's a lot of estimates because a lot of shops by us aren't fully maintaining and repairing cars to the standard that we do. And so the car would come in, and then we'd have this laundry list of stuff that needs to be done or needs to be done soon. And then it'd be a fight to try and build trust with that customer. And so we had one come in, and, they've been going down the street forever, and all they do is change oil, and had their oil changed every 6 months. And then they come in and they have this huge couple $1,000 estimate that, without the health report to show the pictures and stuff, no matter how much I would have tried to build a relationship with that customer, they had 10 years of relationship with this other shop, and I'm the new guy that they decided to come to. They've been going to him forever and never got an estimate over $500, and now they come to me and they have something for a couple thousand without the pictures and everything noted and proof of what's actually wrong. I don't think I could have converted them to stay a customer of ours.
Oh, it's so true, dude. It's so true. I was I was on a phone call with a shop, and we were talking about their digital vehicle inspections, and we were just doing a little audit, and one came through, and the technician had recommended that they need to replace their battery. Cranking amps were supposed to be in the 660s, and it was coming up with cold cranking amps in the very low 300s. It still worked, but we were headed into winter. And I said to the owner, I said, if you can get the technician to take a picture of that battery test, you get the receipt on it, take a picture of that battery test results, send it to the customer, that'll be sold. Oh, by the way, back up. They had already sent it to the customer, and the customer declined it. They declined the battery. I said, take a picture of the receipt, send it to the customer, and tell them that they are not the one that wants to be that first cold snap that comes through. That battery is going to not crank. It's going to be dead. They sold the battery. It was like $125, $135 because the pictures sell in those situations.
And it helps, bridge that gap. Unfortunately, our industry has, a bad stigma to it. The crooked mechanic tries to rob everybody that comes in, which just isn't true. I believe less than 10% of our industry is actually, crooked or trying to take advantage of people, probably even less than that. And then, the top 20% that are actually doing things right. It's the people in the middle. They're doing things right. They just don't have the tools or the training to be able to explain things to people properly. So someone comes in, they look at the car and go, yeah, it's needs $3,000 worth of work without any explanation. And then everybody assumes they're trying to get taken advantage of because you have people that only know how to speak the language of car and they don't know how to talk to people. And so the health report helps bridge that gap.
Oh, and I love that you call it a health report too. That's very cool. Monique.
I'm curious to know, Brandon, are you sharing this off and calling customers to explain as well? Or are you just building the stories, building the value, and sharing it off for them to review on their own?
Yeah. For our model, we send them the health report. We don't give them the option to approve or decline with the way we work, because even though, if I was a doctor and I just sent you test results and pictures, I still don't think you have enough knowledge to decide what needs to be done on your car, no matter if I highlight it red or green or yellow or put timestamps. So I send you everything so you can review it and kind of have an understand what you're looking at. But then you really need to get on the phone with someone who understands what's going on with the car, understands what, your personal priorities are, and can help you make a game plan with what's going to work best for you and your vehicle. And so that's the way we work it. We send it to them. We give them like 10, 15 minutes once it's open to review everything. We send them a text as soon as we get the notification that they opened it, just saying, hey, seen you open this. We'll give you 10, 15 minutes to review it, and then I'll call you and we'll go over anything with any questions. And then we go over everything. And especially because people are so, dollars focused, they don't understand what's wrong with the car. They understand how much they're going to have to take out of their bank account. So for us, at least, and I know there's other shops that send it with the price and they might work for their model, but for us, if I send you an estimate for $4,000, the pain of how much the $4,000 is going to hurt you way more than what you don't understand or really know what's wrong. And so that's why we like to explain everything before we talk about, just letting the customer approve.
Well, and to your point, Brandon, if you send me an invoice and it says $4,000, with that conversation now, we can decide, you know what, I don't have $4,000 today, but what do I need to do today? What can I do next month? What can I do the month after? Are there things that we can progressively fix on the car that still keeps us safe on the road and allows us to restore the vehicle back to its operating?
Yeah, absolutely. And the reason we used to use it this way because it was so easy and saved the advisor time. But, there's a reason the advisor has a job and has the value up front. I'd have people to where I send them an estimate of 10 things, ball joints, brakes, and tires, but the radio doesn't work. Everything else would be declined, but fixing the radio is approved. And it's like, okay, well, we need to have a conversation so they understand, like, the car needs the safety stuff more than it needs the radio to work. And then once they explain that, they understand.
You're reminding me of this problems. How long have you heard that? Well, since I rolled down the windows, since I turned off the radio, since I blew the speakers on my radio. They don't hear these problems because the radio is playing so loud. And so, of course, if I fix the radio, it fixes everything else, and I won't hear it anymore.
Yeah.
All right. So to the shop efficiencies, proficient, more effective. Your DVI is part of that. Brandon, how do you use your shop management system to be more efficient with the clients, with estimates, with work orders, invoices? What do you do?
So the way Shop-Ware can track productivity and efficiency is great. It gives you all the KPIs and everything you need, just like, the customer can't really make a decision without, a health report to help paint a picture and everything. Everything you can track in Shop-Ware helps paint a picture for you as the owner to see how your business is performing. Like the technicians punch on each job for how long they're working. And then when they're punched in for the clock, if they're not punched on a job, it'll reflect their productivity percentage and then their efficiency percentage. And then overall, Shop-Ware calls it your utilization, but your proficiency for how much your technician's producing in hours compared to how much they're in the shop. And you can see, efficiency. You can see, okay, this tech's getting, hour jobs done in a half hour, or 4 hour jobs done in 2 hours. So he's super efficient, 200%, but he's only getting 4 hours done in a day. So he's not very productive. He's only 50% productive. Where's the issue? Is it management? Is it workflow? Is it the techs, just not grabbing new work? So it helps you identify where the issues are in your shop.
Nice. And do you when you get this kind of information that he's 200% effective, but only producing 4 hours a day, do you now know I've got to throw more cars at him? I've got to give him more work to do?
Yeah. Well, that's the hard part. You got to see, okay, is it that the technician doesn't have enough work? Is it that he's punching on accurately and, he's really not 200% efficient and he's just clicking it when he's done? So that's where you got to, do the deep dive and make sure everything's being tracked properly. But it could be, he might not be getting enough cars. It might be that, he's stuck around waiting for parts and stuff. So he's constantly punching off, just waiting. There's a parking lot full of cars, but he's stuck waiting or constantly pushing a car in and pulling another car out. And there's no structured workflow. So that was something I know Daniel's watching. Daniel, I reached out to him with some workflow and productivity issues a while ago, and he was a huge help with his process. So
nice.
Shop-Ware's great at tracking it.
So where do you go first? Do you go to your service advisors to start posing questions about the workflow and how things are being done? Or do you go to your marketing company and start to look at obviously what's being brought in and if they have enough work.
I look right at the calendar first off to make sure there's the right amount of cars scheduled a day. Advisors, if you run in a trend where you're only 75% proficient, advisors are typically going to only start to schedule enough work to keep your technicians at 75% proficient because they don't want to break a promise to a customer. My technicians can only produce, 6 hours a day. I'm not going to schedule more than that. Well, then you'll never get better than that if that's all you're scheduling. And so that's where making sure your advisors are scheduling what your technicians are capable of, not if they're having a rough day or week. Like, you need to make sure they're holding the shop to its standard, and then management needs to hold the technicians to the standard of what they're capable of.
Oh, good.
So if the calendar lines up, then you go marketing?
Yep. So if the calendar does line up and there's cars there, then I know the marketing's work because the cars are there and they're scheduled. So then I'm go down and I dive into the workflow issue. Okay, where's the problem in workflow? The cars are here, they're just not getting done every day. Is it the technicians are standing around? Is it we're not doing things in a structured manner to get, the most work done in a day? Is it that the advisors aren't pre-ordering parts and the technicians are, stuck waiting for parts? And that's where you find the specific issues that are causing it. And I wish it was super easy, but it's never usually just one problem. It's a mix of everything I just said.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what if a technician forgets to clock off of a job? Can you go in the backside? Can you go in and adjust it?
So if they forget to, you can't go on the backside and adjust it. They can't just exit an RO without completing the job. So it'll always say complete. And then I know about where my technicians run. So if I see one day or 1 week where, their efficiency is 260%, then I know, he messed something up. And then I go talk to him and say, how long do you think you were on this? Just so we can try and keep things accurate.
Nice.
Because you can't manage what you don't measure. So I try and track as much as possible in the shop so I can see what we do good, what we do bad, what we can improve on.
Do you ever get pushback from master techs or any of your techs wanting to clock in and out of services? I hear from a lot of people that they don't require every one of their technicians to clock into services. And I agree with you, Brandon. I think it's a data point that you can bring so many things back to. And so when I hear people aren't making their techs clock in, even if they're not the bonus structure or anything's tied to it, I don't think that matters. I think just the data point itself is very valuable. So do you ever get any pushback, and how did you get everyone to kind of, buy into clocking in and out?
But in the way I got it, and not that we got pushback, but it was more just laziness. Technicians just, I forgot. But they really understood the value when it came down to, I don't know where our production issues are because we're not tracking. If you can punch on consistently, I'll know exactly what our problem is. If it's not like you need training or tooling, or we don't have the equipment and it's taking you too long to get the car fixed, or if it's a production issue, cars are, that we don't have parts ordered and stuff like that. So seeing that difference between, your productivity and your efficiency is where you help identify the problem. You don't need to, but if you don't, then you just see, the overall proficiency. You say, okay, the tech was here for 40 hours this week and he only produced 20. Was it because it took him 40 hours to produce those 20 hours, or was he standing around for 20 hours? That's where those metrics come in really handy.
So it sounds like just communication. You just communicated the end goal and what you're wanting to do with the information, which didn't negatively affect them in any way. So they're like, great, yes, I'll clock in, absolutely.
And they completely understood when we have a problem, I can't identify what it is. And if I can identify and fix that problem, you're going to make more money and the shop's going to run better. And once everyone understood that, everyone got on board and was like, oh, wait, if we fix this, we can make more. Then, that now they're invested instead of just going, do this because I told you to. They'll never see the value.
And do you ever tie it back like, hey guys, great, all of you clocked in 100% of the time this week, and as a result, we did 5% more because I found X issue? Or do you not really, you just communicate it initially?
Nope. I love giving out high fives and letting the team know we're doing a good job. So I have no problem telling them, when we mess something up. So I got to make sure I do a good job, and I give them high fives when we do stuff that's good. And then fortunately been giving out a lot more high fives than saying, hey, we missed this or missed that. And I think it's because of stuff like that.
Yeah, that's solid. That's solid. Brandon, congratulations, man. That's very cool. And if you guys, if those who are listening, if you have some questions, go ahead and type them into the comments button, the comment field, so we can answer your questions. Monique, I'm circling around here for you and a question about, I heard that Shop-Ware has some new technology that it's releasing now, that it's available. Is it available now, or is this to be determined soon?
Yeah, so we just released financing, consumer financing with 360 payments. So if you're a customer or not a customer but want to find out more, it is brand new, hot off the presses. We beta tested it for a while. Have you signed up, Brandon, for consumer financing? Are you a 360 customer?
Yes, we're a 360 customer. I have the email. I've just been running around, so I haven't filled it out yet.
Gotcha. Well, it's great because a lot of the initial feedback that we've heard really kind of actually doesn't talk about the things and highlight the things that I thought initially it would, which is the kicking up the ARO number. It's more about not having to have the awkward conversation when you share off that repair order. So it's not as awkward for the shop because they've had it a few times, but it's more awkward for the person that does not have the funds to pay for their repair order. So instead of having to go up to the service advisor and have that awkward conversation, they've been just getting a lot more people who initially click on the financing option without anybody having to bring it up, which I didn't even think about. And that's great. So obviously you're going to kick up the ARO, but then you really make it a lot more convenient for the customer, the car owner to confidently click on the financing option and be able to choose who they want to get financed through. So I love that. But yes, it's available. There is information that if anyone needs it, you can put your information in the chat here and I will happily reach out. But that is very exciting for us.
Awesome. Yeah, that's very cool. That's very
Yes.
cool. John is asking a question. When you're using the digital inspections, are you estimating every single item on there, Brandon? Are you making a priority list or something that a customer knows what is most important than something else to do? Just seems like someone taking care of a massive oil leak is going to be most important rather than the shocks if someone's needing to get the most they can on a budget. But there's no way of showing that it won't seem as important. And I think a part of that comes with the conversation you're having, Brandon.
Yeah. So following the 300% rule is something that should go 100% across the industry. And that's, everything on that health report needs to be inspected, a picture taken, annotated, because a customer shouldn't be making a decision on the car without knowing everything going on with it. So everything needs to be inspected, everything needs to be estimated, and everything needs to be presented to the customer so they know exactly how many dollars they need to fix everything on their car, whether it's due today or due a year from now. We even write up stuff that's perfectly fine, but it's coming. Brakes that are at 4 millimeters, they're going to need to be done, in the next 6 months. We're going to write that estimate so the customer knows what they might have to spend coming up in the future, and then they're prepared. As far as priority, yes, anything you take, you can annotate with a picture, whether it's red for urgent, yellow you can put off, green for, it's okay right now, but you'll need at some point. And it helps build that with the customer. Now, every shop's different. The way I use the colors, it's red, is it needs replacement today. It's not doing what it's supposed to. The component isn't functioning as designed. Now, whether that's a minor oil leak or a ball joint that's going to fall out, they're both red. Yellow is something that's currently performing its job, but it's near the end of its useful life, brakes that are at 4 millimeters. And then things that are green are good. Now, then you can take those estimates in the health report and put them in an order of priority. So even though, the ball joint that's fallen out is way more urgent than the minor oil leak and they're both red, you can put that at the top and that's the first thing they go through. And then the priority is top to bottom. That's how we do it. I know that's how a lot of shops use Shop-Ware. I believe that's how it was designed to be used, but you can customize it to whatever fits your shop.
Yeah.
There are a lot. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry about that, Jimmy. Go ahead.
Oh, I like prioritizing it so that the customers know this is you have to do this today. This you can do tomorrow or next month, and this is definitely sometime in the very near future.
Yeah, I was just going to say a lot of people who use Shop-Ware use it a little bit differently. So as Brandon mentioned, there's a way that was designed, but someone had asked about the different ways to separate or categorize. I have a shop that uses it to break down maintenance items versus, cosmetic versus repair, et cetera. So there's a lot of different ways to do things, but the way it was designed gives obviously the best result on then being able to track all of the different metrics that not only Brandon talked about, but there are some really interesting data points that we can track because we do things a certain way, like duration of service. So how long it takes you to cycle vehicles through your shop as a whole. So some of this information comes from then using it the way it was designed, as Brandon mentioned earlier. So I hope that answered your question.
It did. It does. And a couple of features you've got coming out here right now, Monique, is online scheduling and
That's
a CRM
correct.
with Shop-Ware.
That's correct. So we pushed out online scheduling first. We have a bunch of shops using it already. Great feedback. And we recently pushed out our own internal CRM. So obviously, as Brandon mentioned earlier, we have great partners who you can link up to and integrate with, but we also internally have a CRM that we've been working on and recently released.
Beautiful. Yes, beautiful. Love that. Congratulations. That's awesome. Technology keeps moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta innovate. You gotta provide more than what we provided in the past. Just like the shops here, you're providing more to your customers as well, and so we're trying to just do the same.
I love it. So Monique, you have a magic wand. What's one thing you want to change in the industry?
I would love to see more grace from one another. I feel like a lot of times if shops don't do things the way that other shops do it, a lot of you put each other down because you're not doing it the way that everyone else is doing it. And I think we can all just learn from each other, but you can still do things uniquely because we're all very unique and still arrive at the end point. So that I would love to see a lot more. That would be my magic wand item.
Grace, I love that. That's very cool. Very cool. Pass the baton over to Brandon. Brandon, you've got the magic wand. What is one thing that you would like to change in the industry?
Change, like any advisor, it's like pretty much everyone in the industry that's customer facing, or even technicians too, I guess, to having like an everybody needs to win type mentality when estimating the car, writing it up, whatever it is, because too many people focus, oh, that's too expensive, and then they cut the price, and then it hurts their pay or the owner, or the technicians trying to get stuff out and crank out works and just so they can get it done and maybe spare quality in some instances. Versus there's a sweet spot that we can, if everybody operated at, the shop can be profitable, the employees can be taken care of, and the customer can still get a good product. And I think thinking about trying to appease everyone involved when you're writing estimates, making management decisions or anything, I think that'd be a huge step in the right direction. Just getting everybody thinking, how can I make everyone succeed?
Oh, I love it. Thinking more of the conceptual, the team. How can we work as a team to make a team win?
Yeah, because there's so many people, especially in our industry, that are either, it's a race to the bottom to see who can, do the job the cheapest. And it's, killing their employees because they're underpaid, or killing the level of service to the customer and they're leaving and having to come back or having other issues. Or just if you can find that happy medium, whatever it is for your shop, to where your customers are happy, your employees are happy, and then you have a reason to be in business and you're not the business doesn't own you, then yeah. I think we'd see a huge turn in our industry.
Oh, I agree. I love that. That would be phenomenal, Brandon. I hope that the industry can do that and embrace it. And to you, thank you very much for joining me for this conversation today. Thank you, Brandon. And to you, Monique, thank you for joining for this conversation. You guys
Thank you for having me.
You guys are awesome. And to everybody still with us, right after we're done here, pull out your smartphones. There is going to be a QR code. If you're looking for a review of your business, where are you at? Where do you stand? How can you improve? Scan this QR code, set up a time with one of my team members that we can sit down and look at your shop, look at your business, give you a piece of advice or two, not giving you the full pie, because that's where we have our coaches, and our coaches definitely step in to help you as a shop owner or as an advisor to have the best experience with your clients and customers. You're going to work on a lot of things, from production, productivity, efficiency, in implementing technology, going from implementing the 300% rule, making sure everything has a digital inspection. There's so much that can be done. But get ready with your smartphone, scan this QR code, meet up with one of my team members so we can talk about your shop and your business, take it to the next level. My name is Jimmy Lee. I'm with the Institute. We're here to provide a better business, a better life, and a better industry. That's what we're working for. Look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you.